Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX. I'm Uday Pratap Singh on Deep Dive. Tonight, we're breaking down everything that has unfolded in the last 24 hours in the 10th of November Delhi blast case. On your screen, you can see all the CCTV visuals that NewsX has accessed after the blast. The first is near the blast, where the crowd, after hearing the blast, are rushing to save themselves. This was accessed from a shop's CCTV. These visuals were from the CCTV of the Badarpur Toll Plaza. Hyundai i20 driven by Dr. Umar Nabi can be seen. The time is 8:13 a.m. on the day of the blast. This CCTV was captured in Delhi's Connaught Place on the day of the blast. These are recorded at noontime around 2 p.m. Now we have found another CCTV footage before the blast happened and before Umar entered Delhi. These visuals are the new CCTV footage from New Haryana. It confirms Dr. Umar Nabi's presence in the area. He is the man who drove the Hyundai i20 and blew himself up in the Delhi blast. The footage shows him trying to withdraw cash from an ATM on Bivan Pahadi Road. Sources say Umar stayed in a rented room in New's Hidayat colony for about 10 days before the attack. CCTV cameras at a local diagnostic center captured his i20 entering the colony on the day of the blast. What is still unknown is when the car left and which route he took towards Delhi. The house he stayed in on the Delhi-Alwar Road belonged to the sister-in-law of Shoaib, an electrician at the Al-Falah University. Shoaib arranged the accommodation and is now in police custody. The funding trail has now become a key focus. Agencies are investigating whether Hawala networks were used to finance the module. Several Hawala operators have been detained and questioned in the last 24 hours. Agencies are now mapping the flow of money that may have been used for materials and logistics. Intelligence sources confirm a 20 lakh rupees fund trail linked to 3 doctors, Umar, Muzammil and Shaheen. It is suspected that the cell raised over 26 lakh rupees. The amount may have been routed through a Jaish-e-Mohammed handler. Around 3 lakh rupees was allegedly spent to buy 26 quintals of NPK fertilizer. This is a common agricultural material but also a component in making explosives. This is what is happening off-site. Let's now look at what has changed at the blast location. On your screen, you can see the curtains that cover the blast spot are being taken down. Investigators have recorded 3 9mm cartridges from the site. 2 are live rounds and 1 is a spent shell. 9mm ammunition is prohibited for civilians and is usually restricted to security forces or individuals with special authorization. Forensic teams have also confirmed the presence of TATP, also known as Mother of Satan. Inside the i20, the TATP was allegedly mixed with ammonium nitrate to increase the explosive impact. The same chemical mix was allegedly stored at Nogam police station in Jammu and Kashmir. You can see CCTV footage of that deadly blast on your screen. The explosion killed 8 people. Agencies are now probing whether the ammonium nitrate used there was extracted or prepared inside Al-Falah University. After the November 10th blast, security on the India-Nepal border was immediately tightened, and now we know why. During interrogation, Dr. Shaheen revealed details of a Nepal escape plan. The module intended to flee across the border after the attack. In the past 24 hours, another shocking angle has emerged. A honey trap module targeting Kashmiri hospitals has been busted from the home of Dr. Adil. Rather, police have recovered 14 mobile phones. Investigators say they found obscene images, video call recordings and late-night encrypted chats with several Kashmiri women. These chats took place on apps like Sessions and WhatsApp. The purpose was to build relationships with local doctors. The aim was to extract personal details, gain access inside hospitals and also send anonymous patients linked to the module. Now to the arrests made in the last 24 hours. First, Shoaib, the electrician from the Al-Falah University who arranged Umar's stay in Nu. He is now in custody. Another doctor, Janisar Alam, has been detained. He is a resident of Dalkola in North Dinajpur, West Bengal. A final update for commuters. All gates of the Lal Killa metro station have also now been reopened. They were shut for several days following the blast. You can see visuals of nearby markets and localities on your screens as well. Well, as the investigation continues to expand, a much larger network is starting to emerge. From university campuses to hospital systems and financial channels, agencies say every new lead is connecting back to the core module behind the Delhi blast. With more questioning, more digital recoveries and a deeper money trail under the scanner, the next 48 hours will be crucial in understanding the full scale of this operation. Joining us to discuss this in further detail is Major General Rajan Kochar, defense expert. Major General Kochar, what do you make of these latest angles emerging in the last 24 to 48 hours of the investigation and the headway made by agencies?
Thank you, Uday. Very significant information is coming in now. And we are able to piece those entire thing together now because 3-4 important things have been established as of now. There is a foreign element or a foreign handlers who are involved. Supposedly, I think it will come out soon that Jaish-e-Mohammed was involved. Second important is that certain areas have been identified which are vulnerable uh, as far as policing is concerned, where the policing has not actually reached, or that information was not available to the police to raid these areas. And one such area is New, as well as the Mewat belt. So we have to do a proper digital scanning of this entire area. New, because if you remember, New was also in the news some uh, years back when there were Delhi riots, and New also witnessed some riots, Hindu-Muslim riots. So this area should be on the scanner of the security forces. So that is one point. And why I'm saying is that in future also there may be a possibility of this area being used for these kind of activities. And another piece of information which is flowing in is that there are a couple of safe houses here where possibly the mixing of fertilizers and all such activities was taking place. The radicalization or the meetings of these people with their handlers was also taking place. The third is very important, three aspects: domestic radicalization, financing. So you mentioned about some 26 lakhs or something like that. So from where the money is coming, is it a Hawala trail, or there are some local conduits? Because if you see in a New, you will find predominantly property dealers, jewelers, and agricultural shops there who are selling this uh, ammonium nitrate. So this is one aspect would will have to be investigated, and uh, and especially these dense electronic footprints or the use of the VPN network. And because it becomes very difficult if you do a voice over internet protocol, a VoIP, as is being actually told right now, it's very difficult to detect what kind of conversation is actually happening. So uh, a, a three tier financial model, as I see it happening here. One is money from UAE, UAE, or from Kabul or from Pakistan. This sort of a network is emerging. Second is in a New Delhi and UP belt,
Yes.
where people are there who are supplying the money. And the third are the local executors. So I think the financial trail has to be busted first. We will have to identify all those people who were involved in the financial trail. Second is the radicalization, how the radicalization is taking place of the doctors. And you just mentioned some honey trapping also of these Kashmiri girls who were in touch with these doctors. So we may need to you explore that. And my last point is Al-Falah University. See, this is one university I personally, my wife is from Faridabad. I never heard about this university before. And most of the people whom I'm talking to have never heard of this Al-Falah University. We heard of Aligarh Muslim University, yes, but we never heard of this kind of a university. So I think government will have to take cognizance that what kind of activities were happening in this university, or are there any other such places which are
Absolutely.
existing in India where these kind of
Yes,
activities
and which is why, of course, now also the funding trail becomes very important, isn't it? The funding trail, the financing trail is very important to uncover and expose completely, and also block for future such possible attempts in other parts of the country, in other such fraud universities as well. And also, Major General Kochar, the next 48 hours becomes very important because, now the joining of the dots process will commence given the fact that these new leads have come forward.
Absolutely, Uday. What one aspect is actually disturbing me is that the availability of this raw material is funding a trail. Yes, it's very important to find out from where the money is coming in. I think the government would have to work double time on that. But second important is the availability of this raw material, because why I'm saying is that in the future also this raw material would still be available. You see, there is no ban on that. So what I would like to recommend to the government is that from wherever this fertilizers are being procured, like ammonium nitrate, potassium nitrate, and things like this, there has to be a greater scrutiny on the sale of these items, and all these items have to be on a digital scale with a proper Aadhaar card, because you can't have cash transactions. And what we are observing is that 3 lakh rupees was used in the procurement of these fertilizers in cash. So I think this would be a very challenging and a tall task, because you'll have to map all these agricultural dealers who are dealing with agri products, and we'll have to have a greater scrutiny on their scales. And this task is very easy to say, but very difficult on ground to implement it, because most of these people are in the villages and they do cash transaction. And also, what impact this is going to have on the farmers, because what happens is that some innocent people also are buying these fertilizers, for their own crops and or being used there, or for the mining purposes. So we'll have to see that, because too much of inconvenience can also not be caused to the farmers. But at the same time, we'll have to sensitize the people that why the government is enforcing these measures, because these measures are required. Because see, now this blast has happened, and a number of lessons are actually emerging, and we don't want a similar kind of activity to take place, because I'm quite sure there are still a large number of people who have still not been identified, and it will take time for the intelligence agencies to identify those, and may not be possible to identify everybody, because many of them would have gone underground or would have removed their trails. So this becomes a challenging task. Point number one, as you rightly said, the
Yes,
financial bill. The second is the raw material from where they're getting.
indeed.
And third is the network.
Okay.
What kind of network, and do we have universities like Al-Falah universities or some colleges also who are indulging in these kind of activities?
Absolutely. We're going to be keeping a close eye on this story and investigation for the time being. Thank you, Major General Kochar, for joining us with your perspective on this segment.